What up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Matt Wyatt. So I recently went out to go see the new film called Mickey 17. It's written and directed by Bong Joon-ho, and it's starring Robert Pattinson, who's playing a disposable employee who's been sent on an expedition mission to colonize a ice planet. And every time he dies, he has a new iteration, and he comes back reprinted with his personality and his memories intact. But little do we know, once he comes across with his new iteration, things go completely wrong and all hell breaks loose. This is a movie that was based on a novel, and I had no idea that this was based on a book. I honestly thought that this was going to be a truly an original idea that I'd never seen before. But it still is an original movie with an original idea that Bong Joon-ho isn't adapting. And I'm a big fan of Robert Pattinson as an actor, and he's one of the best actors and very underrated. He's not just the guy from Twilight. He's not just being known as the Twilight boy, but he's also known as the Batman, and I loved him as the Batman in the Matt Reeves' movie, and I can't wait to see the Batman Part 2 if they ever get that script done very soon, because we're supposed to get that in 2027. But I was so excited that he was going to be starring in the role with Bong Joon-ho, because if for those of you who don't know who that director is, he's best known as the director that gave us Parasite, a South Korean indie film that is a dark comedy, a horror movie, and it won so many Academy Awards, including Best Picture and Best Director, which I thought that was a very damn good film. If you haven't checked out Parasite, you should definitely check it out. It's supposed to be streaming on Hulu, if I remember correctly. But yeah, on to Mickey 17. After coming out of the theater, I will say that this movie was really damn good. It lived up to the hype. Now, do I give this movie a masterpiece? No, but it's still one of the better films that I've seen in 2025. And unfortunately, this movie is not getting enough attention that it should have. I'm gonna have to give it to a little bit of the blame of the marketing campaign, because they haven't not done anything to appeal to the casual movie going audience for a movie that they've never heard of from an original IP. I wish more people go out and support this, but right now the box office is not doing well, and it's only been out for 1 week, and it's really tanking. And this movie was made on a $118 million budget. But looked at it from a business point of view. Casual movie going audience has never heard of Parasite. Not everybody has seen that film. The reason why it made a lot of money at the box office because this movie was made on a $11 million budget for Parasite, and it made over 200 million globally. So most of the majority of the people have never seen Parasite or even heard of it. Sure, it got an Oscar recognition, but it really wasn't enough to push forward into the marketing. And we live in a time when big, well-known, established actors that we know, including with Robert Pattinson, are not the biggest draw name in the cinemas today. They go to the movies because they go to see an existing IP that they're familiar with, like Marvel and Star Wars and DC and Pixar animation and or in DreamWorks as well. So that's the only movies that they go to that they are familiar with and that they're comfortable with. I know I brought this up many times before, but I wanted to keep reminding people that you should definitely give this movie a chance. It's technically is an original movie. Sure, it was based on the book, but it was still an original idea that hasn't been done before. And I thought Robert Pattinson gave his performance all. He went very raw in that performance. I've never seen him go this raw since he did with the last movie that he did called The Lighthouse with Willem Dafoe, and it was directed by Robert Eager. And I thought the whole performance of the entire cast was so good. I thought it was a really well written film. I will say that I wasn't a big fan of the third act finale. I thought it was a little bit too much and over the top and a little too bonkers than it needed to be, but it wasn't a make or break for me. It still had a strong end, and I really had a good time watching it. I thought Naomi Ackie, who was playing the agent and a soldier who is a love interest to Robert Pattinson, was absolutely fantastic. And seeing Robert Pattinson interacting with his latest iteration, Mickey 18, and in case you don't know why that he's called numbers, because these are the numbers of how many times that his iteration has died, and they give a latest number so that it wouldn't be as confusing. But seeing him interact with Mickey 18, who has a different type of personality, who is more confident and more unhinged, and a psycho too. He's more brooding than Mickey 17, because Mickey 17 is literally the main character of this story, and Mickey 17 is more of a wimpy little bitch type, and he has to learn to really overcome his obstacles and really learning how to become a real person and not just as a well-known as a disposable employee, because he signed his life away to the colony to go up in this space expedition because his previous life was a major screw up, especially with his a shitty friend who was played by Steven Yeun, which he is best well known as playing Glenn, and he's best well known as playing Mark in the Invincible show. I thought he was great in the film. I wish we would have gotten a little bit more development of his character. He's not really in it as much, but he's still damn good in this movie. And I love that the world building. I love how that this is made as a political satire. And Mark Ruffalo's performance, I love Mark Ruffalo, but he's playing a over the top stereotypical parody of every politician that we have in today's world. And I'm not going to name who. Most of you who have seen the movie, you already know who I'm talking about and what Mark Ruffalo is impersonating a politician. And it was a little bit too cartoony and a little bit of a twirly mustache obvious villain that I did not like. But I will say that the whole message of the movie is that when they try to colonize this ice world, they come across with this creatures that are called creepies, and they're big misunderstood creatures. They most of the space colony think that they're threatened, they're ugly, they're nasty insect species. But little do we know that they're just misunderstood. We came and invaded their planet, and that was the one of the messages that they did well in this movie is don't judge a book by its cover. And I thought that they did it so well in the film, and I thought the visual effects, the cinematography was absolutely banger. Overall, this is definitely one of the better films I've seen all year. I encourage you to go out and see it and give it a chance in theaters. It's still playing in IMAX. And my final verdict for this movie, for Mickey 17, I'm going to give this movie an 8.5 out of 10. Like I said before, I don't think it's a 10 out of 10. I wish that they would have handled the third act a little bit better and not go a little too bonkers and over the top than it needed to be. But it was still a fun time at the theater that I encourage you to go out and see. Give it a chance. If you don't like it, that's fine because it's not going to be made for everybody. And so, have you seen Mickey 17? What did you think of Mickey 17? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Did you love it? Or were you one of the people out there that wasn't made for you and you were very disappointed by it? Jump right in the comment section below and leave me your thoughts. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell notifications so you know when my videos come up. I cover the latest show, Daredevil Born Again. I just did the first 2 episodes for the spoiler review. Go and check that out. I also do a podcast called Small Talk. And in case you don't know what a Small Talk podcast is about, it's a retrospective where we do a Smallville rewatch podcast, the DC show. And we've been doing it for almost 2 years, and we're close to the end. We're at the final season, and I'm excited to get into the final season of Smallville. So definitely check that out. And I also do Talk in Silence. And I also do Batman Material, where we cover every Batman movies, including the animation. We're about to cover Batman Beyond, and I cannot wait to get into that as well. So if you can't find it, you can go to my YouTube playlist and you can find it there. And because I organized those videos so that it wouldn't be so difficult to find. And if you want to follow my social media links, the link tree will be down in the description down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great day, great evening, wherever you're from. And I hope you guys stay tuned for more of my content.